The pandemic has the St. Patty's Day Parade on hold, but the good times are still rolling. Sit back and go on a journey with the Shingletons to learn more about the 35-year history of the parade, show you how the Shamrock Run has benefited charities in the community, and take you on a tour of St. Patty's celebrations worldwide. Also, Pat will go one-on-one with Todd Graves and discuss plans for the next parade. This is the Wearing of the Green Parade Special.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Alongside Pat, I'm Michael Shingleton. You know, hard to believe it's been 2 years now since we were standing there at the corner of 100 Oaks, South Acadian Thruway, getting ready to kick off the 34th Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That it was, and so like most other events over the past year, today we'll virtually celebrate the Irish and the vast connections here in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and later we're going to give you an update on what's in the works for the next Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade and when that might roll on the streets here in Baton Rouge.
You know, most people might not know how wonderful this event is and when it started. So we dug deep into the archives to bring you the history of the Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade. And that's coming up right after this short break.
The St. Patrick's Day fun continues right here. This Wearin of the Green Parade Special is brought to you by the Lucky Law Firm and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
I'm attorney Robert Lucky. People call me every day to help them get what they deserve. If you've been in a wreck or have suffered any personal injury, call 866-9-LUCKY-1 today.
The Lucky Law Firm made a bad situation better.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserved.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserved.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserve.
Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Call the Lucky Law Firm.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand-battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts. That doesn't mean you can. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Happy St. Pat's Day.
March 15th, 1986, the first Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade.
From the very first year that we rolled the parade, I mean, I thought the crowds were huge.
Those first 2 years, Kev, it was maybe, what, 100 people?
Oh, yeah. In the beginning, for me, and you and I had a discussion, how big do we want this?
It started as the idea of a small neighborhood parade, possibly just a block party at ZZ Gardens, which is now the Overpass Merchant.
And you said, no, let's do the parade. Well, I kind of scratched my head.
How the hell you gonna do that?
I said, man, like St. Patrick's Day is next week.
It was exciting then, in my opinion, as it is now. And the number of floats that we had in those first years, in some cases, were as much or more than we can run now. They were all, I said, most of them were like little trailers with kids, you know, somehow. I mean, they would have lots of balloons.
Yeah, Gene McCann would pull his party barge.
Exactly.
Andy Simon and his dump truck.
Walking groups, military police cars, far too many convertibles, a handful of floats, even a group of guys pushing lawnmowers in a rather synchronous and, dare I say, elegant fashion.
Great. I never anticipated it was going to turn out like that.
It was a fun day. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
May God hold you in the palm of his hand.
What the Wearin of the Green Parade has become wasn't exactly the original intent.
I wanted a walking parade.
Yeah.
So we would set up here that morning. You'd put on a breakfast.
When Irish eyes are smiling.
And there was maybe, what would you say, maybe 20 or 30 guys in here?
Yeah. That's emotional.
And we had a piano over here, so we got that going.
Everybody sing.
And we all had a breakfast. Then we either walked or rode up to the golf course.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Nice to see you. Okay.
All right.
Here's a beautiful woman in green.
You gentlemen will be marching right with me, and we're going to conclude bringing up the tail end of the parade.
And we got at the golf course, and they said, "What now?" I said, "Well, we're going to walk back down to the ZZ's." Okay. This was the focal point. ZZ's, it pretty much was the lighthouse.
In the early years, floats lined up along the City Park golf course. The rest of Baton Rouge was somewhat oblivious that there was a parade lining up and about to roll.
Yeah. Dad was here that year, you remember?
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it. He said, "Here's a guy trying to tee off on the tee box that is right there next to East Lakeshore.
There were people.
And there's a band walking right in front of him." He got the biggest kick out of that.
The original float lineup presented some problems, stretching across the railroad tracks and all the way down to the lakes.
One year, when the parade was rolling, a train
Kansas City Southern
stopped the whole lineup. So that's why we moved it to the parade route we've got now.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's Tom McHugh and Bishop Hughes. This is one.
With the extended route and more space for spectators, the Wearin of the Green Parade exploded in popularity and size throughout the 90s. So much so, parade organizers had to implement several safety features and convince the city of their importance.
Barricades are in place to control the thousands lining up to catch the throws.
We've got enough people in place. We've got enough procedures in place that we're going to know if something is going to happen prior to it happening.
Parade organizers also forced floats to have so-called walkers on each corner of the floats.
I walk alongside of the float to make sure that the young children and everything don't run underneath the tires.
As the years went by, crowds just got bigger and bigger. Police got more complaints and became more concerned. After the parade in 1995, Perkins Road once again turned into a massive block party outside of ZZ's after the parade. And that drew the ire of city government and a handful of homeowners.
I distinctly remember Archbishop Hughes saying to me, "Pat, you got a great neighborhood here for all these folks, but you've got to do something about what's going on down there." It was truly out of control down here with this street closure.
By 4 in the afternoon, there was people literally wandering around, sitting and sleeping, and it was an embarrassment.
In 1996, the city shut down the block party and even went to court over banning alcohol sales and consumption outside of the bars and restaurants along Perkins. It is a shame that the biggest party of the year in Baton Rouge is being ruined. The owner of Ivar's, Pat Quigley, told The Advocate.
And they came in parade day and enforced limitations on how many people you could have in your premises.
Oddly enough, the city closed streets downtown and tried pushing the party to another event there. The idea is to move the celebration to an area where it is more controllable, the police chief Greg Ferris explained. As The Advocate reported, the St. Patrick Founders Day Festival will begin on River Road in front of the Riverside Centroplex after the parade.
The Centroplex, it's all downtown. Everything's happening downtown. There wasn't anything happening downtown.
Founders Day flopped as the crowds failed to follow. What did follow was a push to move the parade.
And there were people that absolutely wanted this parade downtown. One was a city councilman. It was a lot of heat at the time on Mayor Tom Ed McHugh.
Homeowners living along the route formed a group called the Friends of the Parade. They responded to the city, circulating a petition collecting hundreds of signatures to keep the Wearin of the Green Parade in this neighborhood.
Years ago, they tried to take this parade out of this neighborhood. And they tried to move it everywhere and tried to prevent them from helping.
The person that championed that effort to maintain this parade route, especially up in the other side of it, was Donna Esnard.
So to that person who happens to be Donna Esnard, each and every year we do the Irish salute. So may the road rise to meet protect you.
May the wind be at your back.
May the sun shine warm upon your face.
May the rain fall soft upon your field.
And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Donna Hestard, ladies and gentlemen.
There has not been a push to move this parade ever since, and it will remain in this neighborhood.
So many things, exciting things have happened on the parade route, and that all gets passed down generation to generation.
Baton Rouge is a great community. If you put the presentation before the community and they embrace it, they will support it.
When we first took over Zizi's, DiGiulio's was a seafood market. There was a donut shop, a catty corner here. There was the hardware store down the street. The amount of people this parade has brought into this area to promote this area, it's one of the hottest spots in town.
Exactly.
When you tell people you're on Perkins Road, the base of the overpass, they know where you're at.
We have pretty much over these last 35 years been able to see what needs to be done to put this on properly.
Great things often come from small beginnings, in a vast attention to detail, to safety, and to community.
The parade grew to what it is because of support of the community. It didn't have anything to do with us. It was the support of these people.
Exactly.
Are you at home staying safe? Time to make yourself some money. Gold is at an all-time high. Right now is the time to cash in those old or broken chains and pendants, one-only earrings, old bracelets, class rings, and name jewelry. They're all worth more than ever before. Time to cash in and make yourself some money right now. The Baton Rouge Gold Market, corner of Jefferson Highway and Old Hammond across from Town Center, is open and ready to help you make some money. The Baton Rouge Gold Market, a safe, clean, and aware of social distancing guidelines environment. The Baton Rouge Gold Market will weigh your gold on certified scales and give you true value on the spot with no obligation to sell. The Baton Rouge Gold Market has been in the business since 2008 and is giving free evaluations. Bring your yellow gold, white gold, platinum, and yes, even diamonds too. To the Baton Rouge Gold Market. Make yourself some money today. Turn your old gold into cash. Get paid on the spot right now at the Baton Rouge Gold Market, corner of Jefferson Highway and Old Hammond, Baton Rouge.
Each and every year, the organizers of the Wearin of the Green Parade find someone or a group of people to lead off this wonderful event.
You know, in 2017, after the murders of 3 law enforcement officers and the wounding of 2 others, we honored the families of officers Montrell Jackson, Matthew Gerald, and Deputy Brad Garafola. 9 years earlier, former LSU quarterback Matt Flynn, several of his teammates actually joined him following LSU's 3rd national championship.
Gary Mockler in 2003, his son Patrick in 2018. In the early years, this parade wouldn't have happened without the financial support of the Mockler Beverage Budweiser folks, amongst others like T.J. Moran, Grand Marshal in 1987. We've honored firefighters, Vietnam veterans, priests, bishops, sisters, mayors, members of the Irish Club in Baton Rouge, actors, grandparents, and friends.
You know, the 35th parade, the first year, I had the opportunity to provide a little bit of input. As Pat said, we're always looking for that deep connection to Ireland, to the old country. Going to touch on that in just a moment, but more importantly, always looking for that person or persons that have done so much for our community. The founder and CEO of Raising Cane's, Todd Graves, checks all of those boxes. And because of COVID, Todd and Pat recently had a conversation via Zoom.
Hey, Todd, pleasure to be with you again. Kind of unfortunate circumstances, but gosh, we had a lot of great preparations in the works there 1 year ago. And I just kind of thought maybe we'd start off with, based upon the plans we had last year, share with us those plans and what those folks all along the parade route would have been enjoying.
You know, Pat, it was a whirlwind when you called me and said that that we're going to have to cancel the parade. You know, everything came on so quickly, and you know, we were on a roll at that point. You know, we had just got done with the Emerald Ball and went over with flying colors. It was a fantastic event. You know, Snoop Dogg agreed to come in. Everybody went. We had a ball that brought, you know, kind of wearing the green to downtown, you know, before the actual parade rolled. And I thought that was just a fantastic event. And then all of a sudden, man, COVID came on so quickly. And it's crazy to me that it's, that was a year ago. It actually seems like a lifetime ago with everything that's gone on.
Yeah.
I mean, but everybody made the right call, and you guys honestly made the right call on that. But I'm excited about bringing some of those great things we have planned into I guess we're gonna call it the 35th again, coming in 2020, right?
Yeah, probably the first Grand Marshal ever that is going to be the Grand Marshal for 3 consecutive years. So you're a marvelous example of connections, of being able to connect. Not only connecting into the success that you have with your business, but also being able to connect with people in so many different venues and arenas, and it's the connection that we're going to continue to absorb and advance for the city of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really special thing. I really enjoy the parade because I feel it's Baton Rouge's really own and unique celebration, right? It started by your family years ago, and I mean, I got to enjoy it. This dates back to like high school, and I can tell you that every year everybody anticipates it, and we have such good memories that go along with it. So when you had graciously asked me to be the Grand Marshal, I not only was excited, I took on the responsibility to make my mark. And so I just kind of went to work and got with my creative team and said, what can we do to make this really special? And you actually came up with, I think, the best idea, which was I said, Pat, how do we really take this year over the top, my Grand Marshal year? And you had the awesome idea of dyeing the Mississippi River green.
Yes. You know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a guy came back. One of the hydrologists had a chemist there or whatever. He came back and he said, you would have to dump probably 18 to 20 dump trucks of green dye in that river, and then there's no guarantee it's going to turn green. It's probably going to turn a brownish thing. Next thing you know, you're going to have the EPA out there shutting down the river. So
I think the Mississippi River was quite a bold and incredible vision. Just not doable. And the price tag that would go along with it, too, was a little out of
That's right. Todd, thanks. I guess before we go, I have to just show you how to do something. You see, they put this Guinness in cans. So the proper way to pour this is you have to get it a little bit down the side there like that, you see. And then when it comes up, it is able to at least have the head on top. And so, as you can see there, all of the nitrogen is going to the bottom of the glass. How many of these have you and I had over the years?
Quite a few, but I've never seen someone pour quite like you can. Pat, I thought of you yesterday. I have at my little home kegerator. I have, obviously every March 1st, I put a keg of Guinness in there. So I had some crawfish, and I had poured me a Guinness yesterday. You would have been proud.
Well, and listen, I appreciate that invitation. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it there for the crawfish. But there's always next time.
It was the last time. Hey, Pat, let me show you what I got here. I'm about to tap into. This is.
Oh my goodness.
This is one of the bottles of Middleton.
Yes.
The cask that I purchased, from in Southern Ireland. I went to the Jameson Distillery, and so for the parade, I purchased a special cask, and I got 100 of these done up for the parade.
Wow.
Get to enjoy with a parade enthusiast. Might have a little bit at the Slappy Room, which is great. Yes. And I wanted to show some extra things that we might be throwing off the float coming up this next year. All canines, right? We got some little dog pins. We got some mustaches. We got custom beads, wearing of the green beads. This year coming out, some fun canes, logo stuff coming.
Wonderful.
Plus puppies. We got big puppies in the back.
The big puppy, yes.
We got bowler caps. I mean, all kind of good stuff that's going to be coming down. So I was going to have a special guest, and for the parade, as you know, that was lined up. And that was none other than Shaquille O'Neal. And I was looking forward to having us all have that morning with him, before we go get started. And he has committed. He's like, if my schedule will allow, I am going to come back in 2022, which would be really exciting just to have that Baton Rouge legend be a part of the parade.
Sure.
You know, I just wanted to tell everybody that's watching this, you know, we're all going to miss it this year. That the Shingleton family made the right decisions on this, as hard as the decision were to push off. But I promise, as Grand Marshal of the 35th annual, your Grand Marshal for 3 years, to really make it a memorable event and to have a really good time.
Y'all sure did cover a lot of ground there.
We sure did. For me, it was a great interview.
Yeah, it sure was. But look, as we mentioned before, when choosing a Grand Marshal, the parade's always looking for that vast connection to Ireland, and sometimes you just got to go right to the source.
That's right. Since 2000, the parade has been blessed with 8 Grand Marshals that have made the 4,250-mile trek from Killarney across the pond to Baton Rouge.
And get this, the coronavirus lockdown has actually forced Irish people inside for months now. No restaurants, pubs, church, everything other than the grocery store has been closed since December. So next, we're taking you across the pond to Ireland to check on some of our former Grand Marshals. That's coming up.
But first, no one likes rain on parade day. We're crunching the stats, and you might be surprised at some of the wild weather over the years. And again, that's coming up right after this.
Stay tuned for more of the Wearin of the Green special. This Wearin of the Green Parade special is brought to you by the Lucky Law Firm and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
When things go wrong, it's important to choose the right attorney. One who is quick, professional, experienced, and puts you and your case first. Don't fight the insurance companies alone. Put luck on your side.
I called Lucky.
I called Lucky. I got hurt, and I called Lucky.
Make the right call. Get lucky. Call 866-9-LUCKY-1 today.
Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Call the Lucky Law Firm.
At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we're here for more than 70,000 who trust us. We're here for local businesses, putting employees back to work. We're here for students stepping into their future. We're here for local nonprofits, helping them help you. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we're here for you.
Welcome back to the Wearin of the Green special.
All right, our chief meteorologist, Dr. Josh, he just dug deep into the weather archives for us to find the warmest, coldest, and wettest Wearin of the Green parades. You might remember some of them.
Michael, thanks. Chance of rain? Sometimes. Here's what we found. Of the 34 Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day parades, 21 of them haven't had a drop of precipitation the day before, during, or after. The hottest parades on dates where record high temperatures were set, 82 degrees on March 16th, 1996. Then 8 years later in 2002, that 16th record would be broken again at 87 degrees. On March 15th, 2008, we had another record high temperature, 86 degrees. How about bitter cold? Morning temps were in the mid-30s in 1987 and 1994. 1 year earlier, the coldest morning at 35 degrees in the afternoon that just got into the mid-40s. These temps left behind by what's known as the superstorm. Snow actually fell in Baton Rouge the Friday night before the parade. The Advocate summed it up like this. High winds buffeted Baton Rouge Saturday as cold Canadian weather extended its visit to the area. The day after the 1993 parade, Sunday, March 14th, Baton Rouge set a record low of 30 degrees. The historic event, also called the Storm of the Century, left behind 3 inches of snow in Mobile, 17 inches in Birmingham, 11 tornadoes touched down in Florida. Parts of the Carolinas reported wind gusts between 40 and 70 miles per hour, more than 40 inches of snow reported in parts of West Virginia. Yours truly, 6 years old and out of school for a week beneath more than a foot of snow and a thick layer of ice outside of Philadelphia. Not to rain on your parade, but it has rained during the Wearin of the Green. Based on pictures, TV scripts, newspaper articles, and the information from NOAA, it's been really damp 5 times. And there have been a handful of years with trace amounts, but those were mostly drizzle. 1991 was cool and damp. The skies opened early in the morning. The spitting rain continued for much of the day. More than an inch of rain reported at Baton Rouge Metro Airport. 2001, cool and dry for the most part. Nearly the entire parade cleared the end of the route before the skies unloaded. A handful of floats were drenched as they made it over the overpass. 2009, cool and wet. A cold front stalled over the Baton Rouge area the day before the parade, bringing more than an inch of rain into the overnight hours. Saturday morning started off as a soft day, but around noon the rain started up, didn't let go. If your float was in the back of the lineup, you likely got soaked. Then in 2016, more than 7 inches of rain fell in the 2 days leading up to the parade. That was the first of 2 major floods that occurred in 2016. Rain lingered through Friday night into Saturday morning, stopping around 6 a.m. No rain at the start of the parade at 10 a.m. Thought we were in the clear, but an hour later got dumped on, and it didn't really let up the rest of the day. In 2018, there were pockets of bright sunshine throughout the morning. Many floats had prepared for the possibility of precip with makeshift tarps and tents covering their crew. It looked ominous closer to the noon hour, and those rain clouds did finally pop, soaking the last quarter of the parade route. Here's a look at all the high and low temperatures and amount of precipitation on all parade days since 1986. Let's simplify it. The average high, 72. The average low, 52. And as you can see, measurable rain only registered on 8 of 34 parade dates.
Thank you, Josh. After the break, we're heading to Ireland and checking in on some of our former Grand Marshals of the Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And later, have you ever wanted to run the parade route? We have the story of how the Shamrock Run came to be and who benefits from it. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Robert Lucky. People call me every day to help them get what they deserve. If you've been in a wreck or have suffered any personal injury, call 866-9-LUCKY-1 today.
The Lucky Law Firm made a bad situation better.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserved.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserved.
I got lucky, and I got the settlement I deserve.
Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Call the Lucky Law Firm.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Welcome back to the Wearin of the Green special.
You know, 8 times now, Grand Marshals from Ireland have led the Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade. And many of them actually continue to travel the thousands of miles to be here on Parade Day, even when they weren't Grand Marshals. Well, that's just not possible right now. So Pat talked to some of them via Zoom about life in Ireland during the pandemic. And naturally, that started with a couple of songs.
Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Are you right? Do you think that we'll get home before the night? Well, it all depends on whether the old engine holds together. Sure, it might. No, Michael, so it might.
That was a good one there.
Well done, Mickey.
Gosh, you know, 8 Grand Marshals, and I got 4 of the best right here in front of me. And of course, the best of all was Dennis. Our good buddy.
You're scraping the barrel, I think, but we're delighted to be here with you.
You know, share with us when you were the Grand Marshal that year.
The memory is the hospitality, Pat.
Yeah.
The hospitality that you guys showed to us. I said I would do my best to walk the route, and I did walk most of it. I got a little help at the end. Somebody came along in a buggy and gave me a drive.
and to Michael Rosny. Michael, you know,
how are you?
Oh, great to see you. And I visit with Patty Quigley on occasion. He gives me the updates, and seems that things seem to be improving a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting times, Pat, for sure. I mean, I look back to when I had the distinct honour of being the Marshal of the Wearing of the Green in 2007.
that's not just 13 years ago, that's a whole lifetime ago. And certainly what's going on now in our country and your country, I don't think it's really uncharted territory, Pat. And unfortunately, the tourism industry here in Ireland, there's a saying here in County Kerry, if Killarney gets a cold, the county gets pneumonia. And believe me, we have pneumonia big time right now.
It has had a devastating effect on our industry in particular.
Yes.
And the efforts now to try and keep the morale up of the people in the industry. There are many businesses are wondering, are they going to survive now?
Well, one thing about Ireland and one thing about tourism and one thing about Irish people in general, we don't look at the downside of things. We look at the upside of things. And I know that we are going through tough times. And I know that some of our friends and colleagues are going to have a hell of a struggle ahead of them. But equally, I know that we will make it through. We will come out bigger, we will come out stronger, and we will come out better on the far side of this whole thing. Going back to that immortal day in 2007 that I for sure will never forget. I was unlike Dick Burke. I wasn't particularly fit and agile, and I was really impressed with the beautiful Budweiser ladies who were going to be my escorts. I was incredibly impressed with the fact that I had a squad car at my disposal all day to drive me around if I became incapable of walking, which I think I probably was towards the end of the night. But one of the most memorable things was the evening before the parade. We did with you probably won't remember it because you spent most of your life on there, but we actually did a television interview. And, you know, you introduced me as Mike Rosny. I was going to be the Grand Marshal the following day. So the following day, my abiding memory, first, last and only time in my life, I had Bloody Marys at 7:30 a.m. with a group of nuns. prior to getting up on top of a stretch orange Hummer to be the Grand Marshal. So anyway, all of this is just so surreal. And I'm saying to myself, what was I sniffing last night in Ivars? But I got up on the Hummer, and unknown to myself, after I got up on the Hummer, and I don't know, was it you guys or was it Pat Quigley or the Mockler brothers? But somebody put on both sides of the Hummer, Grand Marshal Mike. So unknown to me, my name was on both sides of the Hummer as we were driving through, I don't know, 100,000 people at least. And everybody was shouting, Mike, Mike, looking for beads and looking for recognition. And I'm throwing beads like they're going out of fashion. And I'm saying, Jesus, this guy Shingleton, he must have the highest ratings of any weatherman on the planet Earth. They all know my name from the television interview last night.
It's one of the occasions that I will never forget. I mean, both Dick and Mike spoke about there. I can really recall the fantastic time and the way I was treated. I think I was quoted as saying I was treated like royalty at the time. I was being looked after every moment of the day. And like wonderful. That, this big Hummer with the two ladies, and I was actually, it was on both sides, Mickey train tracks. Mickey train tracks. You know, it's fabulous memories. Fabulous memories.
Oh, it's great.
While I think of it, Joe, best of luck to you too on your retirement.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Well, you know, this has been great. Unfortunately, our time is up.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And to our good friend, Junior Finnegan. How are you, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, Pat. One of the things about the parade that I will always have a very good laugh at when we were flying into New Orleans, and there was two ladies inside me and they were chatting, and I said, "Are you going to holidays, girls, or what's the story?" And they asked me what was, and I said, "We're going down to Baton Rouge," and they said they were going to Baton Rouge. They were going down to get their float ready. Wow. And then I said to them, they said, you should go to the parade. There's a very good parade in Baton Rouge. You should go to it. And I said, I think I might go this year, all right. And I was the Grand Marshal. So I said it to them. And when we got off the plane, they brought me over to whoever was collecting them. I had to be introduced to them. And so I went down on the morning of the parade. I wasn't like the cough. I didn't go in, or rather, I didn't go in for Bloody Marys because I had one at home. Anyway, I went down to their float, and I thought it was quite funny. There I was as the Grand Marshal, and they didn't realize, you know, I had told them that I was.
But let me tell you, the people of Baton Rouge and the people of Killarney, they're all out of the same cloth. They're all the exact same. In many ways, I sometimes feel that Killarney could really be called Baton Rouge West, or Baton Rouge could be called Killarney East, because we're all the same. We have a great attitude towards life. And I think the most important thing is that we respect each other, we admire each other, and we have great fun with each other. We communicate at a very basic level of decency, integrity, and sincerity.
You know, Zoom actually cut that interview off at 40 minutes.
Right.
I imagine y'all probably still be talking right now.
That and a few pints, you're right.
All right. After a quick break, while you may want to sign up for the Shamrock Run, we'll be right back.
The St. Patrick's Day fun continues right here.
When things go wrong, it's important to choose the right attorney. One who is quick, professional, experienced, and puts you and your case first. Don't fight the insurance companies alone. Put luck on your side.
I called Lucky.
I called Lucky.
I got hurt, and I called Lucky.
Make the right call. Get lucky. Call 866-9-LUCKY-1 today.
Call 866-9-LUCKY-1. Call the Lucky Law Firm.
When Posigen Solar and Energy Efficiency opened their doors in 2011, their mission helped thousands of Louisiana homeowners see huge savings on their electric bills. Now it's 2021 and thousands are still saving.
We are still saving after all these years.
And you can start saving with Posigen for just $19.99 a month for the first 6 months. Your low monthly lease payment includes a full solar panel system, a full home energy audit, and a package of custom energy efficiency upgrades. Call Posigen and you could be saving for years to come.
A metal roof is elegant, attractive, and adds value to your home. Walker Metals offers 12 popular colors backed by a 40-year warranty against rusting. We also carry Gavaloon Plus, so think outside of the shingles and get a metal roof from Walker Metals. Walker Metals, located just off Florida Boulevard in Walker. Walker Metals is your source for quality metal roofing, siding, and metal buildings. Louisiana manufactured, Louisiana proud.
Welcome back to the Wearin of the Green special.
Last March was set to be the second Shamrock Run.
It wasn't canceled because of the pandemic, but rescheduled and modified. Brittany Weiss and I talked about that.
We started the Shamrock Run because we wanted to start a new tradition, and I learned very quickly that people love to run. They love to compete. They love to have a social event and hang out with their friends and enjoy a little party afterwards.
We wanted to be on the parade route as much as we possibly could.
Jenny decided she is the mastermind behind the route, and she wanted to make sure that part of the St. Patrick's Day parade route is included.
Because that's half of the fun of the event, is running where the floats are going to be shortly after. You know, we essentially went up and down Perkins and made the loop around the lakes just to make it easy, easy for the runners. And it's fun and a little bit challenging because it goes down City Park on one side but has to come back up on the other. So, but the runners have really liked the route because coming over that overpass with a big crowd waiting for you is really a rush.
How did you get the idea to do this? Where did it come from?
We saw some people that just came out before the parade running, and they were there running the route, and we said, well, why not have an organized race and have people run the route?
The parade is such a tradition in South Baton Rouge. You know, the whole community turns out, and you know, the thing is if you get involved with exercise, you know, kind of before the celebration, it just makes it feel that much better. So they like coming over here early, they like running 3 miles and earning their green beer, and they like sticking around for the parade. I mean, it's the whole package. It's a whole day of fun.
This benefits charity in our community, right?
It does. And last year we helped out an organization in Baton Rouge, Rebuilding Together Baton Rouge, and they help fix up houses for veterans or disabled people who can't afford to do it on their own. And we got them involved because I think they're a great asset to this community, and we were able to help funnel a little bit of money towards them, and we hope to funnel more money towards different organizations in the future.
You and I had talked about it, Brittany, that you didn't know what to expect from something like this, and we were a little worried about the course and the post-race party in terms of having a crowd. So if you remember, we limited it that first year and sold out real quickly.
Huge running community in Baton Rouge, and actually people from all over the country participated in this race. They flew in, they drove in from different states. I think we had a couple people from Canada come down. So really neat to see all these people from all over come to participate in the Shamrock Run.
We love this time of year in Louisiana, and what better way to kick it off than with the 5K and a parade after. Like I say, it's a total day of fun, and we're going to miss it this year, but hopefully we'll see it back next year.
Coming up, postponing the 35th Wearin of the Green St. Patrick's Day Parade last year, and when the parade may be allowed to roll once again.
See how the Wearin of the Green Parade stacks up against others from around the world. Coming up next. This Wearin of the Green Parade special is brought to you by the Lucky Law Firm and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is hand battered and cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can't. Introducing an even faster and easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Jerry Lane Buick GMC is the #1 Buick GMC dealer in the state, district, and Baton Rouge. We offer great prices on our huge inventory of new Buicks and GMCs.
Jerry Lane's customer service keeps us coming back.
Jerry Lane Buick GMC guarantees free oil changes for as long as you own the vehicle.
The management team here at Jerry Lane Buick GMC want to thank everyone for your continued support.
6615 Florida Boulevard, JerryLaneBuickGMC.com.
You can count on Jerry Lane.
At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we're here for more than 70,000 who trust us. We're here for local businesses, putting employees back to work. We're here for students stepping into their future. We're here for local nonprofits, helping them help you. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we're here for you.
From coast to coast, Americans have been celebrating St. Patrick's Day now for hundreds of years. Some of the largest parades, we've all heard of them: Boston, New York, Chicago, where they dye the river green. What you might not have heard of, though, are the parades in cities like Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Savannah, Georgia. You've been there.
Savannah, Georgia's a unique town, and they have a marvelous parade. It's probably one of the oldest in the country, if not the oldest, maybe more than 130 years. What they do there is they have the parade in the morning, and then after that it gets a little problematic. So many folks from all over Georgia and up along the coast come. They were last year. They discouraged people from making it the parade, and once the pandemic hit, they too had to cancel theirs.
And that's one of the longest routes as well.
Yes, 7 miles, 23 turns, and you float operators know what it's like on our route that only has 3 turns. Can you imagine 23?
Yeah. We're going to touch on Savannah here in a moment, but here's the history of how St. Patrick's Day Parade started and how the world celebrates. No country other than Ireland embraces the feast day of St. Patrick quite like the United States. Parades, parties, and perhaps a little overindulgence. Some Catholics actually consider it a one-day reprieve from the sacrifices of Lent. The first St. Patrick's Day parade on record in North America, March 17, 1601, in what is now St. Augustine, Florida. More than 100 years later, the first parade in Boston in 1737 and in New York in 1762. Similar celebrations did not start in Ireland for another 150 years. And in 1952, the Irish ambassador to the United States, John Hearn, got the idea of presenting a box of shamrocks to President Harry Truman. The shamrock, so sacred, in the way St. Patrick explained the Holy Trinity in the 5th century.
So Hearn moving to send Shamrock to the White House is very significant in terms of ratcheting up the connections between the Irish embassy and the White House.
A decade later, the most well-known president of Irish descent, JFK, embraced these new diplomatic traditions, and in addition to the box of shamrocks, he actually received the Kennedy family crest and the family tree.
To have that connection, that bloodline, if you like, to the White House is massively important for the Lamass government in Dublin.
Every president since has cherished the shamrock ceremony on St. Patrick's Day.
The blessed St. Patrick, we are told, died on this day in the year of our Lord, 461. And leave it to the Irish to be carrying on a wake for 1,500 years.
Someone actually discovered my Irish lineage when I was running for president. And my first thought was, why didn't anybody discover this when I was running for office in Chicago? I would have gotten here sooner.
Across the nation, Chicago dyes the river green. The fountains in front of the White House also go green. Boston, New York, and Chicago draw millions of spectators and hundreds of thousands of participants. Most major cities have some sort of celebration. And what you might not have heard of,
98 feet right there on the tape.
The world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade rolls just 98 feet. That's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. By comparison, the Perkins Road overpass is more than 700 feet. In Hot Springs, tens of thousands have flocked to the corner of Bridge Street and Central Avenue since 2004. And each year they welcome a who's who of grand marshals. One of the longest parade routes is in Savannah, Georgia. St. Patrick's Day is actually observed as a legal holiday in Savannah and also Suffolk County, Massachusetts. Worldwide, some of the wonders of the world and several landmarks light up in green on St. Patrick's Day. The Sydney Opera House in Australia, Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the Great Wall of China, the Colosseum in Rome, the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids, Niagara Falls, and in Ireland.
And a very happy St. Patrick's Day to you. And as always on St. Patrick's Day, we begin the Mass with the blessing of Shamrock.
St. Patrick's Day is a holy day of obligation in a 5-day nationwide festival of parties, concerts, fireworks, and parades. More than 1 million people from around the world attend each year. The Irish have celebrated the feast day of St. Patrick since the 9th century, but it wasn't until 1903, well after the American parades and celebrations, when the first parade marched in Waterford. That same year, the country officially recognized St. Patrick's Day as a public holiday. And nearly 30 years later, in 1931, the first official state-sponsored St. Patrick's Day parade kicked off in Dublin. Less than 100 feet, that parade in Hot Springs. We're going to have to check that out at some point.
Yep, it's got to be a great event.
Yeah.
And if you show up late, you get to walk it 5 times.
That would actually only equal probably one of the overpass, so that wouldn't be too hard. Hey, up next, when the state allows parades and mass gatherings to return, News 2's Johnson Von Springer asked the State Health Department and the Governor's Office about that, and the answer might surprise you. That's next.
The St. Patrick's Day fun continues right here.
Do you need a new mattress, but you're afraid of paying too much? Then you need BR Mattress Outlet for a top name brand mattress at a price that fits your budget. Like this memory foam queen mattress with an adjustable base for only $7.99. Don't pay too much for your mattress. Get to BR Mattress Outlet today.
Hey there, early risers, go-getters, all-nighters, and in-betweeners. Today is a new day,